Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Everquest Old School. On tonight's episode, we are going to be talking about the latest stream that they just did with Pantheon. Pretty cool.
Pantheon!
I have to say, I do dig the upgraded graphics that they just put into the game with the last couple patches. Pretty nice, to be honest. They keep going back to the same dungeon. So those of you who did catch the stream will know what I'm talking about. Those of you that did not get to catch the stream, it did start a little bit late, but they went back to the same dungeon. The walls look more textured. They look more realistic. The lighting effect is in full bloom now. You can see little tiny sparkles of light in the air, you know, like the dust being caught by the light. And you'll also see almost like fireflies sometimes being in different areas of the zone. And they did mention about how they were going to do the quest of the game. Now, have you heard anything about that, Srcyer? Because I know you've watched the other videos.
Well, I know that you can have, you'll be walking along a road and you'll have someone who has a quest for you, but you won't have any kind of indicator. You actually have to go up to them and find out if they have a quest or not. And that quest could lead into a multitude of things.
And that's if it's a NPC, like an actual person that has a quest for you. And this one, they started going down and showing you different areas of the map that as you wander by them, I think you've probably seen the stone that's in the dungeon.
Yeah, the key.
With the key, yeah.
Yeah.
They also had another one where when they were running through the courtyard from the human town, or not the courtyard, the countryside, they ran across a giant pillar that looked like a face. You know, almost like Easter Island, but a little bit different, a little bit chubbier, a little bit bigger.
Yeah.
But that gave another message as you were running by, and it was something that if you found out in the wilderness, you could use that. I think they said perception skill is what they're calling it.
Mm-hmm.
And that would allow you to get a quest from that object. So that's kind of unique. I like that. I thought that was kind of a interesting way to incorporate quest into the game rather than the standard default one, which is just go grab it from everybody in town and then head out into the open.
This guy wants me to die.
Because you played the old D&D games, right?
Yeah.
And you'd have a dungeon master, and that's what it reminds me of most of all, is the dungeon master sitting there just out of the blue being like, and a dragon pops out or something, you're right? It's just,
Yeah.
You're in the countryside, and there's a quest there. You know, it's just kind of interesting in that regard.
Yeah, you're walking along, and then they describe the area, and then you say you're going to do something. They roll the dice, and then they secretly roll another pair of dice, and you're like, "What's going on over there?"
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh, two giants with two heads just come out of the forest. What are you going to do?
So I think that's what they're trying to make it, you know, happen. I think they want these active quests. They want these random events to happen in different areas. And they did touch on what you were talking about, where when you get your quest, not your quest, when you get your level and you have access to new abilities, whether they're spells or combat arts, whatever they're going to call them, you have to go to different places in the world to find them. Sometimes they're going to be dropped off of mobs. Sometimes they're going to be in different cities.
Yep.
And they have specified that they want to make sure that you can't just camp one area. You can't just stay killing sirens, and you can't just stay killing the sisters for 5, 6, 7 levels. You're going to kill for a couple of levels, get that, you know, that next increase in your spells, and then you're going to have to go travel. Maybe even travel before you know you're going to need them.
Yep.
So, and that's crazy though, dude. Like if you're going to have to run around the game at level 1, level 2, you know, even within that level 10 range, you're going to die a lot.
This guy.
How's the soloing going down there though?
Well, it was going great until someone just trained me.
Ouch.
I didn't die. I got like side by side to him, but he didn't call the train or anything like that.
I mean, that is a route that a lot of people go with very little regard for if there's a group there or not. I know some people will avoid it just because that place usually is camped quite a bit. But once you get to level 60 or 50, no, it's level 59. I haven't gotten attacked in that area at all in a very, very long time. So should be safe doing it there.
Yeah.
As far as what you've heard, though, with Pantheon, what is something you're looking forward to, man? Did you see the different classes they had available? Did you find one, as far as the looks goes, something that you might have liked, something you didn't like?
I do like the spells. I do like the enchanter. I have a whole lot more questions about the enchanter than anything else. I think that ogre must have died because he hasn't come out of the zone yet.
The enchanter was curious as the way they were describing him.
Yeah, I mean, the thing I kept questioning the whole time is why isn't the enchanter lulling the mobs so that they could pull?
Really. Because the enchanter can do one of two things.
Oh,
I don't know if they went into it in the episode. He can mez, but then he's not supplying extra mana to the group. Or he can do direct damage spells, which have a side effect of providing more mana to the group. So if you want to be able to recharge the cleric's energy and the wizard and everybody else, the enchanter actually has to physically attack with his spells. And that's a complete change from the way the enchanter is played on Everquest Classic or even Everquest Live right now.
Yep. One second, I'm sorry. The guy that pulled that train on me, he ended up dying. I ended up gating and then coming back in and watching him die. And I see this druid that's there, and I sent him a tell. I said, did he pull those to you? Okay.
What, you thought it was some type of power leveling that was
power
going
level?
On? Yeah, it doesn't sound like a power level. If the creatures can kill him, that seems like he was running away from him. But yeah, I thought that was strange, where the enchanter isn't a buffer in the sense that I can give you clarity. You can run off and do your thing.
I do like that whenever... Oh, I'm pretty sure... Did you watch the last video before this stream? So what I really liked is that that the enchanter actually had to do damage to give mana to the group.
Right.
But I think they also probably are going to get a group buff. But they were only usually around level 14 or 15 or 16. So like in the video with Cook Carnage, they had switched up so that the monk was there, but the monk didn't have Fey Death yet. So they couldn't pull with the monk, and then of course the enchanter, they were saying, well, for this fight we're going to need you to do more damage so that we can get mana regeneration going for our healers.
Yeah. Or he could switch over and do the mezzing. But I thought it was interesting that he's not the only one that can do the mezzing. The rogue. Oh
yeah, the rogue can do it as well.
Too. That's a weird combination. I mean, I'm curious to see how that plays out. But that's completely night and day difference from original.
True, but one of the things they did in Vanguard is that rogues weren't able to just cast that, and it was free. You actually had to go get reagents for it to be able to use the smoke bomb. So it wasn't just a free ability. You actually had to have components for it.
Well, this one uses your stamina, and as they had said, the stamina seems to be almost more important than the mana. From what I've seen, the way the synergy works in their group, if they have the right classes, they don't really want for mana. They don't really need more power. They have plenty. It's only in like the really, really big fights when they get towards the end of a dungeon and they get like 3 or 4 mobs at the same time that their power pool, their mana pool will go down any. And
yeah,
I would prefer to see that actually go down more than the stamina, because the stamina goes up way too fast as it is.
Well, the stamina, while it does go up fast, you still saw that Ko was having to wait for a certain amount of stamina before he could use another ability again.
Oh, absolutely.
And that's what slows down the melee.
Yeah.
So So while it's coming back up fast, it is still retarding them from being able to just quickly spam through abilities.
Hey, Srcyer, how you doing, man? Swift Rage. I love all the little happy faces. Yeah, we're discussing the stream for Pantheon, and we're talking about enchanters, the way they have kind of changed. Same thing for the rogues, how they're both kind of crowd control now. And the Enchanter less so. From what I've seen, he's more valuable as a like mana regeneration person in your group and damage. They're obviously damage as well. But
yeah, that's actually something I liked is that while they have the ability to mez, you heard them say that while we do have these mobs, we need you to also concentrate on doing some more damage because we're not going to be able to make it through this fight if we don't have it.
Right.
And that's whenever they were taking on the named skeleton guy.
It's just a complete different mindset of how the classes
Yeah.
work. So those of you who are original EverQuest fans, where you are playing on Project 1999 or an emulator like this, and you really, really, really like that classic style, I just want you to get your head prepared for the fact that it's not going to be like 100% EverQuest, but it does have that feel. You know, the slower gameplay, if is what you're looking for. They're having a constant, or, you know, an emphasis on character interaction, player interaction with other people, having to use your own built raids to take on the main boss guy that they just did tonight, which I thought was really cool. I love the fact that that door, hopefully none of you guys are going to be too upset with a little bit of spoilers. It is online, and it's only one dungeon that we're going to be talking about, so you're still going to have the rest of the game to explore. But those of you who watch Sword Art Online will be very aware of some of the strategies that they use on the big boss guys, where the doors will actually close behind you and lock the group in with no escape. Also, the other side of that is anybody who didn't get into those doors before they closed is now locked out of the fight until it's over and everybody's dead or the main boss guy is. So they integrated that into the game as well, and it was really funny to watch because there was, I think it was one guy, right? One guy on the stream that made it through onto the other side, the door shut, and he was left in there all alone. Thankfully, he was a GM, so he was able to handle that and then just respawn the mob for him, but I think anybody else would have been toast in that situation. It looks so fun. I like the rock climbing effect. That is something I hadn't seen before. Have you, Cypher? On the past extremes?
No, but they said that they did in the ice dungeon.
Well, they had it in this one too, and it's supposedly supposed to lead to another section of the dungeon that they have not shown off just yet, or may not even be in the game at this point, but it seemed a little buggy. It does. I like the idea, but it definitely seemed like it had a few little problems because he couldn't get up it. He got up to the very top. It seemed like he kept jumping off, but the other guys didn't really have any issues, so maybe he was just doing it the wrong way.
Well, I think Ko had an issue with looting his corpse.
Oh, there was a few issues tonight. There's a few. One of the main bugs that seemed to be the most annoying was not being able to see his life. Just out of the blue, his life bar would disappear. It'd be set to almost like 0. And that was it. Like that, you had no clue of what your life would be at, or if you were about to die, or even if you could die. And then it just came back out of the blue as well. So, yeah, they're working on a few things, and you know it's still pre-alpha. You down in the room, by the way?
I am.
Okay.
These guys are saying that I didn't have the camp when I got trained, and then one of their group members said, "This guy is not smart. We're gonna leave. I saw you here." I was like, I don't mind grouping.
So he wanted to take the camp away from you?
I guess. I mean, I don't mind them even killing the Srcyer mob itself, but I was here first.
Well, you did get trained out by those guys, so which is cool
well,
because
it wasn't these guys. It was Shaman who is not in their guild. Oh, hey, there you are.
Yeah, they did talk about trains in the Pantheon stream as well. One of the things that happened was they took on more than they could chew when they went to a new area. So the rats seemed to be the easiest mobs in that dungeon
to train.
No, just to
because
kill.
There's a in Ko's video. Remember whenever they trained the rats and then he got summoned? We're going to remove your your aggro.
Now the rats actually seem to be the easiest. They obviously went up a few more levels than normal. I think they were at 16 or 18 tonight, which is a big jump from where they used to be. But they went through the rats like crazy. It was just sickening to see them just slaughter those things. Then they got to...
They're saying that the rats themselves, because of their draw to the crystals, have an innate ability that they can disease, and then you have other mobs that, based on what kind of mob it is or their location, will have also an innate ability.
Yeah, and I did like the idea that they had as well, where you would get diseased randomly off of the mob because he's diseased, but you might have the ability to spread it to people near you. So in very tight, confined areas, somebody who becomes diseased might actually physically become like ostracized from the group and just be like, go stand over there in that corner and don't come near any of us because we don't want rabies as well.
This guy is red to me.
Which one? The one on the right?
No, this guy in ALS.
Oh, yeah, he's red to me as well. He is level 26. I mean, he's within our range. I don't think anything here would be experienced to him, but if it's...
Nope.
I mean, if it is...
if it's not experienced to him, it's not experienced to us. Most of these mobs are turning green to me, too.
Are they? Okay, they're all blue to me, but I think you're a higher level than I am. I do actually love the animation they have for meditation in Pantheon.
I do. Yeah, that is a really cool thing.
I'm very much digging that. I would love to see it maybe start off very, very small when you're low level and your skill in it is, you know, puny. And then when you get up to the higher levels, I would love to see it become like a little bit more pronounced, a little bit more powerful. Almost like your spells do. Your spells get more vibrant and more intricate as you get higher and higher level in this game. And that is thanks to Talon on here, who took the time to go back and recreate those different spell effects for the classic look. So big shout out to that guy. But the devs on there seem like they have a lot that they want to do. Not enough time to do it. And
I mean, they have as much time as they want to allow themselves, but they were already talking about that they're about to push phase 3 on here. I'm gonna make you leader. If you want to invite him, I'll let you. That they're about to push phase 3, and then they were talking about the fact that I guess after a certain phase they're going to then change to alpha or something like that, but that could be months or years away.
Yeah, they didn't say what their timetable was. In fact, they went out of their way to make sure that they didn't say.
True.
So I guess we'll see when it actually comes out. Okay, big guy, you got a deal. Okay, so I think he's going to take the Srcyer, and we can take the other ones, if that sounds good.
1 second.
Oh, Pop.
Yeah, go ahead. Oh, Pop. Go ahead and invite Seaplane also. By the way, the wizard, apparently it's his very first character playing the game.
The one in red, invite him as well?
Yeah, I thought, yeah, invite both of them.
What level is Seaplane? 25 Bard? It's not too bad. I mean, we might even go down to a lower Guk, or the entrance to lower Guk.
Well, we could probably... I think the wizard actually needs the item off of the Srcyer. This is literally his first character playing the game. Apparently. He chose a really interesting guild for his very first... this is his very first character.
What do you mean?
But I think it's the better way to go. Yeah.
But if you played a wizard in any other game, you know just how powerful they are in Diablo. Everquest is a little weird in that regard. You know it better than most with the resist and know, the lack of the mana pool that you need. They even talked about the role of the wizard in Pantheon tonight. And that
go ahead and invite him again. They were grouped up, apparently. Yeah, I like the spell casting of the wizard. I like the ground AoEs and things like that. The look of it. But I also like the enchanter DDs that he was doing because that just looked pretty cool as well.
I think he just gated out. I tried to invite him several times, but he didn't take it. Hopefully, he didn't think we were kicking him to the curb or something.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't have any problems with him in the group so much. I was just worried that it wasn't going to give us experience, which wouldn't merit him experience, and then
I don't know. We'll see if he says something, but
oh,
yeah.
he didn't get he invised.
Oh, okay. Is he not joining?
He said, "I'm just going to invis while I'm gone. I'll be 1 minute," and
Oh, so he's coming back. All right. But
Yep.
how do you feel about the wizard being one of the only people in the game so far, as it stands in pre-alpha, for them to be able to snare? That's weird, right?
It's weird that they have snare at all. I mean, the only snare that a wizard has in this version of Everquest is an AoE 4-mob snare.
That's true, but the snare is pretty nice when you're doing your quad kiting.
True.
Almost necessary if you don't have Spirit of Wolf. Even if you do got Spirit of Wolf, it's really, really nice to have that as a backup.
Well, they don't have druids yet. I haven't seen a druid yet. They do have shamans and they have clerics, but I haven't seen a druid. So the druid will probably end up being one that gets as well, I would hope, and the ranger.
I don't know, the way it stands right now, the enchanter is one of the few classes other than cleric. I really want to play cleric and I really want to play a tank. But the enchanter is one of the few characters that I could see myself trying, because it's not solely dependent on mezzing. Like, yeah, that is a function, but mana regeneration in the game as it stands right now seems to be more so, and that's like a wizard / crowd control. And I do that as a healer crowd control with our group. So you're not able to crowd control 20 mobs, you can crowd control 1, maybe 2 as a mezzer, and that's it.
Yeah.
So a lot easier, it seems like.
Here's my question, though. And this is one thing I was thinking about the whole time I was watching Ko's stream, is why is there 2 hit point bars? Why is one that's going down and then one that catches up with it later on? Does that mean that the mob, if healed, can only be healed to that second bar? And then if it goes away, then they're left at that hit point range?
Oh,
also, whenever the players were getting hit, they also had that bar, but you would see that the cleric would heal them all the way back to full, though.
I think it's more of the potential damage they're going to take because they have a dot on. And if they got dispelled immediately, that dot would disappear, and they wouldn't take that damage anymore.
See, that makes sense.
They might also be showing that because there might be spells out there that could instantly make any potential damage be taken immediately. With, you know, like a combination of all these dots that a necromancer might have, say, in Everquest, you know, live or classic, then give, like, wizards the chance to, like, finish your move and just take all of those dots, instantly make them pure damage, and maybe throw on a little extra for good measure and finish that mob instantly. That may not be what it is. I'm just kind of, like, I'm left in the dark, too, and that's the only thing I can think that it might be. But those of you who are watching, if you know what exactly those bars are, go ahead and let us know in the stream. We'll pass that information on. But they didn't specify. Nobody asked that question. It's a good question. We'll have to see. He's going to be streaming again in just a few days, it seems like.
Oh, nice.
So we'll potentially could ask him that question then. He didn't take a lot of questions from the audience. Every once in a while, he'd look to see what people were saying.
Yeah. Since I have mana regeneration, I'll go ahead and get some strength stuffs on you.
I want to come back. I'm going to see if I can keep pulling. Let me know if anything pops up.
Yep.
But I was happy with it. I was happy with the progress that it's making. I really wish I could get into playing it. It seems so unfair, but I got to wait. You know, another whatever.
I mean, we had talked about, and we haven't done it yet, but we've talked about just upgrading one of our accounts to an alpha instead of a beta.
Which we have the beta one. That's the $100 one or the $150.
The 100 to 150 is all beta. 200 plus, I think, is whenever it goes into alpha. and that's 2 accounts for that.
I'm
So
kinda
essentially, we
tempted to
could
do it.
give. Essentially, we could give two keys to our friends or other means.
Once they get into alpha
True,
or
but beta.
beta, yeah.
Yeah,
Because we'd hog the good ones for ourselves.
I'm just saying.
You know we would. I mean, I can't blame
Yeah,
us, but
I mean,
at the same time,
I have the $150 one. I think you have the $100 one. It's only $50 to move mine to an alpha, and I mean, I'd be giving you the other key.
I mean, if it's only $50, I say we do it. I'll give you the money for
Yeah.
that, like hands down, no problem. Because I think it's gonna be worth every video that I see. It gets me psyched. It gets me pumped up to want to see more of it. Now, I don't think it's gonna take me away from Everquest because it's not Everquest. It's a lot like it. It has that feel. It has that community behind it. It seems like everybody who's leaving comments was very positive, very happy to help other people who have questions. And everybody who was commenting also seemed like they knew Everquest. You know, they were fans of it. They played it back in the day. They still play it to this day. So that's going to be a very welcoming community for people leaving or going over from P99 and trying it out. But I don't think it's going to be everything you may want, because there's something about Everquest. And, I mean, we could sit here for days and talk about all the wonderful things we like about this game and all the things that we don't like about it. But something draws us back to it constantly, even with all the games that we played. And we've been through this before. Every time we think we're going to find the new game that's going to replace EverQuest as your most favorite, right? The one that you can play for years or decades at this point, right?
Yeah.
It never works out, right? There's always something a little different about it. It just doesn't grasp you as strong. You can play it for a few months. Sometimes you can get into it for a couple of years. But at some point, you come back to this game. So I think this is always going to be on our channel.
Did I give you Spirit of Bear?
Storm Strength? No, I didn't get Spirit of Bear.
Okay.
Let me know if you guys stop getting XP. I didn't get any XP on that one, but I don't know what level he was.
Yeah.
I think there was only XP for one of them. I'll pull it from as deep as I can, so hopefully we can get some XP in here.
Yeah, I mean, I understand what they're doing. Because of their guild, they can only loot their equipment, and I mean, we can't give them the Srcyer loot. We can't just say, "Hey, we killed the Srcyer. Here's the loot."
They should have been here earlier, because I think we had 5 Srcyers drop, and nobody looted any.
Yeah,
I think they all rotted. So.
Oh, pop.
They could have come by, and we could have sold it to them.
You can't sell it to them.
You can't sell it to them at all? They can't buy?
They can't. I don't think they can buy from the community at all.
Even of something legitly of your level that you could get otherwise? Okay.
Nope. They have to loot it. Yeah. I mean, it's in their bylaws.
And then you see one of them running around with the fungi, and you make them look bad.
Well, I mean, they have enough people that are level 60 and are in raiding stance now.
No, I meant like a level 30 running around with the fungi.
Oh yeah. I mean, there are some people that don't follow the rules to a point.
Right.
But you know remember that guy who ended up getting the Vindy breastplate?
Mm-hmm.
From ALS. I saw him the other day. He's now level 60.
Oh, okay. So he did go up. I mean, 'cause when you win something like that, all eyes are on you.
Yeah.
That was the other thing on.
Well,
go ahead.
It was him and his brother were there. He played the shaman, and the other guy played Shadow Knight, and I guess that's how they've leveled up a lot. But it seems like just watching ALS the way they seem to group a lot with each other too, which is pretty cool.
They did show a little bit of some of the high-end loot that was dropping in the game, but unlike Co's, it seemed like the equipment was broken. It didn't show any stats, and the few pieces that did show the stats, especially weapons, weapon had no damage on them, just a description of what kind of weapon they were. But when they did show some of the stats, they were like 1,000 strength, 1,500 stamina,
What?
1,100 mana, and I'm like, dude, this is obviously those are not wrong because Ko, when he looked at them, they were 1 point to this, 1 point to that.
No, that's not supposed to be thousands.
Right. I think they did an update or something in the last day or so, and it's messed up the stats on the equipment.
Yeah, I mean, you would see Ko whenever he was fighting with his rogue, and you'd watch his damage bar, and he was doing like 7, 10. Then he would hit a backstab for like 110 damage, and then it'd be back down to these whittling down kind of hits for the mob.
Yeah, I thought that was cool how you could see his damage in different windows. It's a very unique way of showing.
I think that's a very good way to resolve that kind of situation.
It's too much spam otherwise, but yeah, it's nice that they had that in there. I would have loved to have been able to see what the healing is on those dudes. If I could ever get into that game, that's going to be the first guy that I do. Because they have not shown that yet. Like the healer.
Cleric?
Yeah. Well, the cleric or the shaman, either one. Seems like they're both able to heal. Did sound like only the cleric, as they have said right now, has the res ability, but there has been discussion from people in the stream that, shamans should technically be allowed to have them. Paladins should have them. Pretty much they want everybody to have them. I
really don't. I only want certain classes to have them.
I think if a paladin gets it, I'd be okay with that as long as they get a really low-level spell at a high level.
Well, I think at level 60 is whenever paladins here get a 90%, and I think that's respectable.
I think 90% is too high. I think at the most,
really?
I think the most they should have got is like 50%. Because
I mean, necromancers can do what, 93 or 94 or something like that.
I don't think necromancers should have ever got res. I like the fact that they can summon corpses, and I like the fact that they can take experience away from a player. I just don't think necromancers in their lore would ever give experience to anybody other than themselves. So if they did get a res, it should be self only, like every other necromancer spell is.
Well, the res is only available because someone sacrificed their life for it.
Right.
For the gem.
Somebody sacrificed their life for the gem, which is definitely necro in their greatest form. But then they're also super greedy, so they wouldn't just give somebody else a sacrifice to anybody other than themselves.
Yeah, I mean, you could play it like that. I mean, I could definitely see an XR roleplay like that. Can I kill you?
Or they take it in a duel, or maybe they take it away from the mob. It's a gem that builds up. The more mobs they kill, the more that gem fills to the brim, and then they can later on use that to give themselves experience back when they die. I think that would be kind of an interest, because I don't think anybody's going to donate their life force to an enchant or to a necromancer without something to gain from it other than they can come back.
Well, I mean, they do get something from it here. They get money for selling their life.
Yeah, because the guilds will pay them that money. Because there's
or a necromancer will pay it.
I'm just saying, there's a useful means to make that money back. If it was just for themselves, I don't think it would be worth it.
All right, this is blue to me. Let's see if we get experience.
Let's see. Yeah, I don't know if necromancers are in the game. I got experience off of that one. Yeah, I don't know if they're in the game. They really haven't specified any pet classes.
It didn't look like it. They had what looked like or accounted to a Shadow Knight as a class, but Necromancer I don't remember being a class, but I may be completely wrong about that.
I have to look at it again, but yeah, I would love to play Necromancer on there. But I think the Enchanter is something I'm drawn towards. I want to play at least one class that has the ability to solo on that, so that when I play late at night, I have something to do.
We'll see. We'll see what has the ability, but I mean that's going to be questionable.
I think one of them said that they were going to play Ranger, so at some point Ranger is going to be a thing, and they do have summons listed as well. Summoners, okay, so pet classes are going to be in there at least.
Yep.
dude, I don't know. I'm really liking the overall look of it, and I'm really liking the way the quest journal works. Not a huge, like 100% fan of getting behind the way the classes work just yet. That's going to be something that I will be open to, and once I get in there and actually try it out and see how the functionality of groups go. Definitely a different set. Like, you have to be in a different mindset when you go into it.
Yep.
You can't just be thinking, oh, this is an Everquest clone, because enchanters that attack more than they mez, that's weird. Rogues that can actually help mez, that's just different. Wizards that are the main snarers, the only snarers in the game at the moment, it's a little different. They do have the area effect one in this game, but they definitely aren't the main snarers in the game.
I think the main thing I had a problem with the enchanter is that maybe it's skill or level, but they were not holding their mezzas for very long. It was breaking pretty early on, especially whenever you saw them trying to take on those undead mobs.
Well, they are still working out a lot of stuff. The game is, pre-alpha, so they got a long way to go. I thought that was probably more along the lines of resistance, both in their characters and in the mobs just not being completely flushed out, as well as, gear. They don't have the best gear in the game.
Yeah.
Which I like. I like that they're not going in there with GM stuff and just showing it off. We're getting
so it does beg the question: what gear is it going to look like that at those levels? I mean, there's flaming swords and.
Well, the flaming sword's the only one that is not going to look that way. He created those, and they used to be super uber. Something about in the old days, he always wanted flaming swords, but the other guys have nerfed it since then, so the damage on it. But you're not going to find that in the game. I think that's GM only. That's like Srcyer running around with 2 epics in his hand.
Yeah.
Well, what about you guys that are watching? What classes and what race did you kind of want to play? Now, he did show the character creation, which was super basic. There's no other way to put it. That was very basic, but it was still good. It was enough. More than
I wonder if he's gonna. I hope that they post that on the Pantheon YouTube page, because I really want to watch it if they're showing that.
They might not. I don't know. The guy is an artist at heart. It's what his job is, and I found his channel on YouTube, but he didn't have any videos for video games. It was.
Did they leave? Why aren't they in the group anymore?
Yeah, they popped out because they said we weren't getting experience. They just said that they're joined back up when the Srcyer pops. Let me know when you're ready to pull this.
All right. I am not ready.
Oh, you got one.
I haven't been paying attention, but I have 0 manas.
To be honest, I don't think the character creation is fully finished. I don't think anything in that game is fully finished yet. And I mean that in the best possible way. I think they have a lot of things that they want to put into the game. And character creation will probably change drastically before the finished product. But it's good enough now. Like, it gets you in the game. I don't think any of these characters, I don't think I've actually heard them say if there's going to be a wipe, but I'm pretty sure they're going to have a wipe somewhere in, like, beta. Would make sense. And then any character you have past that, give you guys a couple months ahead of, like, the full release or something.
Yeah, I mean, the as far as the trying to think what I'm trying to say.
Pre-alpha?
As far as the equipment and everything, they said in Ko's video that they really only have one race that has visible equipment that's set for them.
It's the humans, right?
It's humans.
Yeah.
But no one else has gear. They pretty much just have their basic look for now for those different characters.
I like the look of the rogues. They're kind of sexy. They always been. They're kind of sexy, the way they look. But something about the way they stand in this one. They are little bit more agile, right? They feel like they are gonna like fade into the blackness and just kill you somehow. I wasn't a huge fan of the animation when they died. I was actually cracking up laughing when I saw it. The guy falls to his knees first, and then he, falls over face first, and his head bounces a couple times, which I don't know why just cracked me up. I thought it would be more realistic if he fell backwards. You're getting beat in the face. Probably if you're dying, you're getting hit by something, and that's usually the front of you. But maybe they could program it in there where if you're getting hit from front, you fall back, and if you're getting hit from the back, you fall forwards. But yeah, the head bounce, dude. I loved it. It was like over the top cheesy kind of thing, but yeah, it's definitely something I thought was interesting. Hey guys, and welcome to the disembodied voice of AC Gamer. We are definitely going to be doing a lot more series in the future, but here are a few of them that you guys might find interesting. Of course, you're more than welcome to check them out. I would love to hear your comments. Again, if you do enjoy these videos, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe. It's definitely the indicator that I use to tell if you guys want to see more videos like that, of that particular game style, of that series in the long run. So when you guys leave comments down, it helps me decide whether we should keep doing it, as well as whether you want to see games like that in the future. And here are a few of them right here. I kind of picked out a few of different genres. We will be doing spotlights for other YouTubers in the future. So if you want to get a little shout out, definitely let me know. If you group with me, chances are you will get a shout out in here eventually. But for now, these are just 4 series that I have that I feel like could use a little bit more attention, and that you guys might actually enjoy as well. Thanks again for watching, guys, and we will definitely catch you all next time.